Welcome back, friends. I'm so excited to have you back here this week. We are going to finish off our two-part series on how to organize toys. If you are a parent, you understand the accumulation can be a lot and very overwhelming. And last week was the first part of our series where we talked about using a cube organizer and how to leverage that to keep toys going back to the right places and creating systems that work and function well for you. And then this week, I'm going to show you how you can utilize a shelf and the different ways that you can add bins to it to set up a really good system to help you grow with the toys per se as your kids continue to get older. So this way you're not having to always change out systems every time they have a birthday or Christmas comes or things of that nature. So let's hop right on into it.
Okay, so this is the shelf that we use, and shelves and cube organizers are a great way to keep toys organized. But if they are not used correctly, they defeat the purpose. They can be a huge eyesore because if you have everything just all loaded on the shelf with no bin or purpose to it, it's gonna look cluttered with all sorts of just stuff sitting there. So it's important to get a system in place that works and functions well for you, that is also aesthetically appealing, and as I mentioned, is able to transition into older toys as the kids continue to grow. Now, the one thing that I love about shelves over cube organizers is that they, depending on the size for obvious reasons, but this one in particular, this shelf is large. And most shelves are larger than cube organizers, which gives you the chance to put larger bins there. When you use a cube organizer, you're really kind of stuck with the smaller type bin. And a shelf allows you to have those larger bins to help conceal the toys, which minimizes the clutter for those various sizes and types and shapes that toys all come in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you through the process that I used to set up this shelf and the bins that were chosen to give you an understanding of why I did it the way I did it, and to kind of get your creative juices flowing too, to figure out what style would work for you, which bins you like, and how you can incorporate this into your house as well. Okay, so first I started at the bottom. I wanted a large toy system to fit all those big, bulky toys that have really a hard place fitting anywhere else. And I went with this 3 sprouts organizer for a few reasons. One, the material is flexible, which allows it to expand a little bit if it needs to. It's not so cut and dry and not having the ability to move at all. Second was a cute design. So I liked the element of that had some white in it, which matched the shelf. And then third is the lid. It's all the way back, and I like to keep it back because this way we can slide it in and out, and you can just toss the toys in there. You don't have to worry about making sure that it's completely shut. Okay, moving up to the next shelf is where I added the gray basket weave bins. These bins are large, which work really well for storing like bulky block items, balls, things of that nature. And they're open, which I'm a huge fan of open bins, especially with toys, because you can just toss them in there. And I liked the gray component of it because it tied in with the toy storage chest. Okay, then moving up here to the third shelf is where this drawer organizer was used, and I like this for a few reasons. One, it's white, so it kind of ties into the whole white theme and the component there. And then the drawers were clear, so you could see what was in there. And the items that we put in here were items that need to lay flat or they stack, and this way you can access them easier rather than having to move piles of things around. So like the top drawer is full of folders, the second drawer is full of notebooks, and then that last drawer is full of the miscellaneous craft items. And then next to the drawer organizer was our craft bin with these bin inserts. And I love these bin inserts for a few reasons. It keeps all of the crafts, individual ones, in their own compartment, so it's not a huge pile mess. And you can easily remove them and just get the one bin that you need rather than having to take out the whole thing. So if you just needed markers, all you need to do is take out the marker bin. The other thing that I want to point out here is the colors. So I did a color by row, and it created a pattern, and our brains identify well with patterns, which is why I chose one color for each row. If I had chosen multiple, it would be, and our brains wouldn't be happy about it. So that's why I chose those colors. They're bright, they're easy to see, and make it easy for the kids to clean up as well. Okay, so then here we are moving up to the last shelf, where we've got a set of clear stacked bins and some red bins. So the clear bins were used for, we've got a racetrack here that has a lot of different components to it, and those fit in there perfectly. And then the music items up there. So they're labeled, they're clear, we can see what's up there. I can easily reach them if need be to get them down for the kids. I have the music up there for a reason. As a parent, you know, sometimes the music can be overwhelming. So I like to pick and choose when the time of the music can be out. And then next to that were two red matching bins, which conceal the miscellaneous items such as walkie-talkies and things of that nature. Okay, so now it's time for you to put everything into action here that we've talked about. You're going to get a shelf that is large and a color that blends in well with where you want it to go. White is my go-to color because it brightens up a space, and bins tend to look a bit sharper on a white shelf. From there, you're going to want to create a system with bins that tie well with each other. They blend nicely and create some type of pattern because, again, our brains like patterns. And then last, you're going to want to label the bins. This is going to help keep toys going back into the right places. So with bins, shelves, and labels, it'll help you create a good system to organize toys that isn't a huge eyesore. Okay, that is it, my friends, for this week's organizing video. Be sure to tune in for next week's episode. Subscribe and follow us on social at Organized Marie.